Right now at noon, security preps are underway for this week's NFL Draft in Kansas City.
And we've got that break in the showers and even a little bit of sunshine out there, but more rain is on the way. We'll have the latest on that coming up.
President Biden officially announces he will run for a second term in 2024.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An expected 300,000 fans are beginning to arrive in Kansas City for the NFL Draft, and the KCPD is taking steps to keep everyone safe. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, the NFL Draft runs Thursday through Saturday, and more than 20 law enforcement agencies are preparing security for the big event. Setup is nearly complete at Union Station. The theater stage, where draft picks will be announced, will be the biggest in NFL Draft's 87-year history. The structure itself is almost the size of a football field. Barriers placed around the draft grounds and security screenings will take place. The Kansas City Police have been planning for years. The department sent representatives to Nashville and Las Vegas to view their planning and implementation to learn what to expect. Kansas City's Emergency Operations Center will be keeping an eye on this year's crowd. Cameras will capture multiple angles of the draft and fan experience throughout the weekend.
If you think of it like a convention, this will be the biggest convention that downtown has hosted ever, and it's by a long shot.
It's free to attend the draft, but you cannot bring in anything like coolers or chairs. Basically, just you and what you can carry in your pocket. Well, we're finally getting some much needed rain in the 4 states. Chris Warner joins us with a first look at what's to come.
Yeah, we've had a pretty decent day since the rain cleared out. Still got some clouds out there. Some of us getting some sunshine. Some of us still dealing with those mostly cloudy skies. Taking a look from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline, looking back to the south. Look at all that traffic out there. You know it's the lunch hour in the 4 states. KDOT camera 69 and 400 just south of Pittsburgh. Roads are dry, getting a little more sunshine up there than what we had earlier. And here's why. Taking a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker, that little batch of showers just hanging out down there across central Oklahoma, but that batch is what's going to be making its way up our direction here in the next about 3 or 4 hours. So this is just a look back at that rain as it came through this morning. And it got heavy at times, and we could see some heavy rain and even have a couple of rumbles of thunder, but it's this activity here that's going to be making its way to our back door. All right, yesterday started out at 39, 10 degrees off where we should be, made it up to 69 though, so we got relatively close to average, which is good. Across the area today, not quite average, 56 in Iola, 59 Parsons, 60 in Pittsburgh, 59 Joplin, 58 in Neosho, and 60 in Miami. Here's what we're keeping an eye on for the rest of this week, and this part's the easy part. Showers and a few thunderstorms will continue now through Saturday morning. Then our temperatures will continue to remain below average, as we just showed you on that almanac, and we've got a fairly chilly weekend ahead of us as well. We'll talk more about these rain chances when the next round will be here and how those temperatures, how cool they're going to be here in just a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. The likely Democratic nominee for the White House just made it official. President Biden is running for re-election. Nicole D'Antonio has more details from the White House.
President Biden made his re-election bid official in a video released this morning. He says he ran 4 years ago because there was a battle for the soul of the nation, a battle that he says is ongoing.
This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election.
Ahead of the re-election announcement, a CBS News poll found Democrats were accepting of his re-election bid, with just 22% saying they were excited, with the #1 concern among voters being his age. The timing of the announcement is no coincidence. It's 4 years to the day since President Biden first announced his White House bid, but it wasn't the only factor in announcing right now.
the other sort of consideration is you want to get ahead of what might be coming from the other side. I mean, there's more and more Republicans that are starting to get into the race.
Former President Trump is already in the race, setting up a potential rematch of the 2020 election. Trump's Vice President Mike Pence is also in the race, as is former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley.
I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis would not say when or if he will run, but he did make trips to early battleground states during a book signing tour. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, the White House.
At least one other Democrat has announced his candidacy to run against President Biden. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. launched his bid for the Democratic nomination last week. Well, Harry Belafonte, the king of Calypso, died this morning at the age of 96. His publicist says the cause was congestive heart failure. The legendary musician's wife was by his side. In a career that spanned decades, the Grammy winner was known for his activism just as much as his music and movies. Belafonte was born in New York City in 1927 and served in World War II. He marched in the civil rights movement, was a steadfast voice for the Black community. Well, the countdown to King Charles III's coronation is underway. Pope Francis gifted fragments believed to be from the true cross on which Jesus was crucified. The two small shards will be added to the king's processional cross. The cross is made from recycled silver along with Welsh slate and reclaimed wood. It will lead the coronation procession at Westminster Abbey in London on May 6th. And a British children's author added a royal touch to a London bookstore, painting one of its front windows with a decorative display for his new book, The King's Pants. The picture book tells the story of how the monarch has underwear for every occasion, even coronation pants. Following a mishap, they're accidentally sent nationwide. The King's Pants nods to a previous book by the same author, Nicholas Allen, called The Queen's Knickers, and already has the royal seal of approval from King Charles III. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, the war on plastic takes a turn as scientists create an environmentally friendly plastic. And later, we're making hillbilly ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. British scientists are teaming up with a chemical company here in the U.S. in a bid to mass produce plastic products without the pollution. CBS's Tina Kraus has the story from London.
With the war on plastic gaining traction around the world, scientists in London are fighting to keep it around, minus the pollution.
We need better materials that are more symbiotic with our way of life on planet Earth.
London-based startup Fabric Nano wants to make fossil fuels a thing of the past by producing environmentally friendly plastic with proteins instead of oil and gas.
A protein can do any material production and any chemical production that we can think of today. The problem is that we can't make these proteins work in industrial reactors.
So scientists are aiming to design enzymes that can survive when made on a mass scale, and they're teaming up with Sumitomo Chemical America to help create climate-friendly products people want.
The chemical industry can be our friend if we enable them with technology that is a drop-in replacement for how they currently make chemicals today.
The companies know it could take a while to see industrial plastics produced through biomanufacturing, but they're hoping the climate-friendly collaboration will eventually pay off for the planet. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
It's estimated more than 170 trillion plastic particles are floating in the world's oceans, often killing fish and sea animals. Scientists warn that amount could triple by 2040 if no action is taken. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Budget friendly, off the charts good, and really easy. If that sounds like your kind of recipe, today's your lucky day.
But first, we are continuing to track those showers and storms, and they'll be making a return. When will they be making that return? Stay tuned. We'll have the answer right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've had that pause in the showers. Some of us have even managed to see some sunshine. Hasn't done much for temperatures, but as you can see, as you head further to the east, we've got clear skies out there, but look back off to our southwest. That's more rain, that's more showers, that's more thunderstorm activity, and this will begin to move into our area roughly in the next 3 or 4 hours or so. And the good news is, we mentioned this morning, our environment is just not set up for strong to severe thunderstorms at this point. Thunderstorms are a possibility, but the most they're going to do is thunder and maybe bring some heavier rain. So that is some good news for us. We don't need any severe weather right now, but we do need the rain. All right, so going back in time here, let's scoot this over. You can watch that batch of rain that came through us overnight. I moved it one time, and now it just doesn't want to go back. And there it goes, off into central Arkansas. And then you saw that stuff just kind of like it's running into a wall right here in northeast Oklahoma. But all of this rain that's back down between Tulsa and Oklahoma City is going to be able to break through that wall and start to bring us more shower and thunderstorm activity. So when will it get here? Well, between 3 and 4 p.m. So here we are at 3, and we start to get into 4, and we get enough oomph from these showers and thunderstorms that they start to push through that wall. So by 7, they're starting to roll through, and we'll get a few more of them as we go into the overnight hours, and then there'll be another pause until tomorrow afternoon when we see another batch of showers and thunderstorms trying to make their way on through the area. Those ones aren't expected to last very long, but there could be some heavy rain, and it's still some much needed rain. And we get another pause until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, when another round of showers and thunderstorms overspreads the area through the morning on Thursday. That moves out, a little more shower and thunderstorm activity comes through, and a little bit more even as we head into the late evening hours. And then Friday, it pauses again, and then more showers and thunderstorms late Friday into Saturday morning. With that said, remember the precipitation tracker updates each day, so it has taken out any rain totals from last night. It is now counting simply from today to Friday, and from today to Friday, 1, 2, 3, upwards of 4 inches of rain. Now, if this was all falling in a matter of 12 to 24 hours, that'd be a serious problem around here because the ground is still dry. We still have the extreme drought. The good news is this is not falling in short order. It is being spread out over the course of several days. So while some minor flooding could be a concern, we'll keep an eye on that. Overall, the ground will be able to actually absorb this rain and make good use of it instead of it just being piled on there and running off. All right, our camera, 7th and range line. Got those clouds increasing out there. MoDOT camera, 20th and range line. Looking to the south, we've got the cars increasing. We're still getting some sunshine, and we finally got some sunshine up in the Pittsburgh area this morning. They were in the clouds through most of the morning show. So what are our temperatures looking like? Well, not where they should be, to be honest. 59, partly cloudy, feels like 59 in Joplin, east breeze at 8. And in Pittsburgh, not much difference, 59, southeast breeze at 8. But of course, that's going to change. Now, we're still going to warm a little bit, making it into the lower 60s. And then we'll see those showers and even a few thunderstorms creep into the area as we head late into the evening and into the overnight. And then we'll get another pause, as we mentioned. We're going to be chilly again, dropping back down to about 48 for the low. We take a look ahead. We've got the rain chances tomorrow. Temperatures upper 50s, so much cooler. And you can see where those rain chances will pick up again as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Looking at the 7-day forecast, boy, normal is just not going to be on the list. Temperatures are going to struggle to get close to our average for the next several days. Look at Saturday, only 56 for the high. When we do get a break, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we still don't warm up that much, easing to about 70 before more thunderstorm chances build in as we head into Wednesday. So that's just, the way that it is. And there's not too much that we can really do about that. I wish we could get back to normal, but it could be a lot colder.
Yeah. The temperatures aren't that bad, though. Like,
They're
I don't
really
mind
not.
it because, as soon as we start hitting the 85, 90 degrees, it's going to be hot, and we're going to wish it was cooler.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing. And here's the deal, too. You ever go out and it's like 58 degrees and the wind is blowing, it's a lot colder.
Yeah.
Even when the sun's out. But when the sun is out and it's 58 degrees, it feels a lot better. There's that warm 58 and a cool 58.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
That's all we need, all we need. Well, speaking of going out to eat,
This guy.
How about we stick around and make some hillbilly ribs after the break? Today, Howard shares a down-home cooking recipe that will guarantee a full house at the table. We're making hillbilly ribs in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Whenever we come up with a recipe that's off the charts good, really easy, and budget friendly, we tend to move it to the top of our must-share recipe list. And that's certainly the case with the recipe that we're whipping up today. It's a lighthearted tribute to country cooking that's perfect for this time of year. We start by searing about 4 pounds of what are known as country-style pork ribs in a bit of vegetable oil. Actually, even though they're called ribs, they're really not. Country-style ribs are more like pork chops since they're meatier and are less fatty than real ribs. While those finish up, we mix together a bottle of chili sauce, some water, a bit of Worcestershire sauce, a tad of mustard, and some brown sugar. This gets poured over the ribs. We loosely cover them and we let them simmer until they're fork tender. See, I told you it was easy. Now, they may not be officially ribs, but in my book, I like them better. And after they slow cook in the homemade sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, the meat sort of melts in your mouth. You could even finish these off on the grill if you want. To get the recipe for what we call hillbilly ribs, simply visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a meaty and saucy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
I'll take that. And you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4 state market prices.
All right, showers back in the area in the next 3 or 4 hours, and they'll continue into the overnight. More showers tomorrow, more rain on Thursday, more rain on Friday, and more rain on Saturday. And temperatures staying below average as we're in the upper 50s, lower 60s for the next several days across the area.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, more research shows working odd hours can impact your mental well-being. In Health Watch, we're going to look at the factors behind shift work that could lead to psychological distress at your job. Plus, an inside look at the $8 million simulation hospital built on the Pitt State campus. And some Carterville residents decide who will sit on the council next after the race tied earlier this month. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
Ooh, that story about the shift work kind of scares me because that's what we do here.
I was thinking of you. You and Chris, you work some pretty odd hours.
Well, you work late into the evening.
I work odd hours as well. We're just a bunch of odd people here, I guess, huh?
There we go.
I'll have to tune in at 5 and see how that's affecting our mental health.
That's right. Well, thanks for joining us for the KOAM News at Noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.